how to create a masking effect such as these stripes on an image, say, of London in Affinity Photo. You can see the shard, you can see the Thames. Well, I'm going to quickly mask it. First thing to do, just go over here and create a rectangle. So rectangle tool, and then click and drag. Now I'm using black. That's the colour you need to use for this. So set it to black beforehand and then create a rectangle. Now don't release the mouse. What you need to do then is go to the right arrow key and press it. And that will generate multiple copies of that rectangle. But also what you can do, you can hold it down. So just hold it down and it will then create a gap as well. Now, I've had a few messages from people saying, for some weird reason, this doesn't work. The right arrow and holding down just doesn't work. Should do. I'm not certain why it doesn't for your version, but certainly should do it. Another way of doing it, move and duplicate tool using obviously the move, and you get a panel up if you press return, and then you can then generate multiple rectangles or just create multiple rectangles just as easy as well, and release. And then of course you can always resize this if you want and move it, say, to there. So once you've done this, what you need to do then is go to the layers panel. You can find that in the window menu and right click and group. Now before I go any further, please subscribe to the channel. Always great to have you subscribe. Always add new videos all the time. Also a like is always appreciated. Also a comment. Is this too slow, too long, too complicated, too easy? All those sort of things. Be really great to hear in the comments below. So let's get on with this now. So once you've got your group, what you then can do is you can then just, now you could right click and rasterize it. But if you do that, the shapes then are no longer shapes, no longer vectors. So not so useful, but you could do it if you want. Now, I'm just going to drag this down. And as you do that, you can see you can drag it down like that. That's not what I want. I don't want that. What I want to do is this, where it just goes on there. And you can see then, as soon as you do that, you can see it does it and release. Now, you got this. You got it as a group. Does make it slightly harder to manipulate, I will have to say. So what you can do is go to the move tool and you want to select the individual ones. So if you just go over and try and click it, it will just select all of them, which is not ideal. Now there may be an option. There's auto select default. You can probably just go for this one, layers. So you can just select here and you think, oh, could select that. Well, doesn't seem to do it that way. So I'm not going to bother. But what you can do is you can go here to the rectangle. Please put in the comments below if you can get that to work. I must admit, I've had trouble with that one. I never exactly know what it is supposed to do. Right, so with that selected, now I can manipulate it. So you might decide, you know what, I want for that area, because it's a certain building or something, I want to make it smaller. I can just resize it. So you decide maybe to slightly slice that out. Now, probably one of the buildings I've actually worked in one time, which I wouldn't want to do that. Over the years, as a computer contractor, worked in a number of places around London. And I think that definitely is one of the places I have worked in. Great Roman remains there as well. Okay, so then also, again, if you can move, you move the whole thing, which again, you might want to do, might not want to do. So you want to manipulate the rectangles, always go back. And it's very easy to do it because I know I do it all the time. Click on here and think, oh, why doesn't it select that one that I want? But you can select the rectangle there, or select the rectangles there, and then you can manipulate that. And you can make it thinner, etc. But also what you can do is you can remove it. So you might say, you know, I don't want that anymore. So just click here and it's gone. And of course you can rearrange, move the other ones as well. And also you can, of course, maybe you've got it as a sort of displaying of statistics, maybe over the year, so January, February, etc., etc. So you could obviously go and select one of them. So let's just go and select that one. And you can then resize it using the move tool and maybe make it, obviously you could have a grid or something to see the actual settings. So you could do it, use it as a quick way of creating an interesting chart or design. But also what you can do, maybe apply some effects. So you can go here. You could of course apply effects here as well. But you are actually in the mask. You will not see it in the way you think you will. So you can go to effects, click there, and go to bevel and emboss, say. And you can change that setting. Now you can see the effect around the edge there. So it's not exactly in the way that conventionally it would be. Also, outer shadow, you can go there and do the same. And you can see you get this effect. Fine, gives a bit of depth, but you might want to actually apply it to the whole thing. And that's what you can do. You can just go up to here, the pixel, pixel layer here at the top, and then click effects. So just click here and then go for, say, add shadow. And then with that, you can resize that. And now you can see the effect is applied obviously across the whole thing. So close just gives a bit more of a depth there. And of course, you could then maybe duplicate this pixel layer and then move it across. So another option with this, right click and duplicate. So just do that and then move tool, you select it and you can see then you can create an interesting sort of just a very quick effect if that's one of the effects you want to create with that scene of London. Any comments again? Really great to hear from you. Also a like or dislike, always appreciated. Bye.